Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is KarQ. Welcome to the KarKives, the KarQ Archives channel, my second channel. I have a full Season 2 patch breakdown video showing comparisons before and after from the old patch, strictly balance changes on the main channel. You can go watch that one. That one's a short version, but this version is the long one where I just spiel and give you more raw, candid thoughts live on stream at twitch.tv/KarQ. Everyone here is saying hello, YouTube. So let's begin. Season 2 of Overwatch 2, December 6th. Ramattra storms the battle pass, unlocking for free at 45 instead of 55. That's a nice little buff to the battle pass. Still not a perfect, I'm still not a fan of the play wall or grind wall. Maybe a small one where you have to like witness 10 games of Ramattra or play 10 games if you want to queue up his tank when he comes out before a comp. Something like that would be kind of nice. But a restriction on the hero itself, I've never been a fan of. Maybe a restriction to play him in comp where you have to get some hours in or something would be kind of nice. But I'm not going to go into that can of worms. Let's talk more patch notes. As Overwatch's first tempo tank, this is their definition of it, Ramattra can change between two forms, moment to moment, based on what his teammates need. With tactical training of a lethal soldier and the discipline of a devout monk, Ramattra can be your greatest asset or your worst enemy. Now, this term tempo tank, this is not, I mean, what happened to Wrecking Ball? You can transform between two forms based on the moments. Is Wrecking Ball a tempo tank? I mean, by this definition, sure he is too. Aren't all the tanks tempo tanks in that case? You have to like decide what to do in each moment based on what your teammates need. That's just Overwatch in a nutshell. Anyways, I don't like that term, but this is marketing 101. They got to put something on Ramattra, tempo tank, sure. And embarking on a pilgrimage to our newest map. So we have Ramattra, new map, Shambali Monastery. Explore ancient temple grounds, traverse winding village streets, uphill. This is an escort map, by the way. I've already played this. Quite kind of nice. Advance through the battle pass, of course, and this is inspired by ancient Greece and 3 LTMs. We have Winter Wonderland, which is standard for Overwatch 1 players. It's the Winter Wonderland event. They're very careful not to call it Christmas because not everybody celebrates Christmas. We love that. Thanks for the inclusivity. Winter Wonderland. It's also not winter everywhere in the world. Hello, isn't it summer in the south? Argentina, Aussie. Anyways, Battle for Olympus, which we saw a teaser of. Battle of Olympus is, they teased this in the trailer where you saw, I think it's an arcade mode where you have all the people that have a Greek mythology skin. So we know Farah is Hades with Cerberus. We saw in the trailer she fires 3 rockets. I assume each one fires a rocket from the head, and then I know Junker Queen's commanding shout calls lightning down and then zaps people. Also, my game just loaded in the background, that's why you hear that noise, but that's okay, it's background music now. And then we have the Lunar New Year, which is happening probably in January, so that's cool. We got three LTMs in this season in these next 9 weeks. Cool. General updates: Control game mode fixed a bug regarding overtime and control maps. However, that fix led to other bugs we had to resolve. This led to some anticlimactic gameplay results we weren't happy with. And after hearing player feedback, we made the following changes. My game is too loud, sorry. For example, whenever a point is captured on control, the team losing control of the point counts as having contested the point for the purpose of overtime, even if they weren't present. So, for example, if Team A has 99% and Team B has current control of the point, but then Team A takes back control of the point, overtime will automatically trigger and start to burn down unless Team B can touch again. At lower capture percentages, this change will have no impact on the game as this is only for the purpose of overtime. Does this make sense? Do I need to explain this out? So basically, if it's ever at 99% and the point flips, it will, the team that got it flipped on will still have a brief moment to like recontest. It'll always trigger overtime. Because earlier, remember when you flip the point, the round would just completely end. Now it's instant. You will always get an overtime. Auto trigger, no matter what, if it was flipped at 99 from the team that previously had control. That's basically it. That's a decent change. I like that. It always gives them a chance to touch for more like butt-clenching fights. I'm okay with this. Hero updates and challenges. We've added new challenges for unlocking Junker Queen, Sojourn, and Kiriko. So this is, I still don't know what this is exactly, but this is for the new players in Overwatch 2 who didn't unlock these heroes or are starting now in Season 2. They're gonna have to unlock the heroes, and there's gonna be a challenge to unlock them because they missed them in the Battle Pass. 70 new icons. Yes, we saw those in the Battle Pass. New shop stuff. Cool. Season 2 comp changes. So, there are temporary title rewards for name cards based on your last season end of season rank. Nice. Only earn them in the current one and use them in the season following. That's good too. It's kind of like Apex. You can have like a nice like previous season trail that's only relevant for that season, and the season after will take the previous one, right? Cool. Heroes that weren't eligible for comp will have a lock icon. Okay, that's fine. Implemented group of matchmaking enhancements to improve match quality. Minor polish to the UI. And new hero Ramattra won't be available for 2 weeks. That is all pretty standard stuff. All right, let's get into the juicy meat and potatoes of what people want to know and my thoughts on them. Damage roll passive is getting a change where they're removing the 25% movement speed bonus upon an elimination. However, they're increasing the reload speed bonus from 25 to 35%. We decided to remove the increased movement speed from damage roll passive and in turn, make the reload speed more significant. Additional movement speed was helpful indicator that the passive was active. We saw a change in speed negatively affecting the ability to aim precisely. I mean, sure, and for some players, the skill issue. This is just a skill issue. What do you mean? What? That's such a weird way to word this. I don't think this should be the reason why. They should. Why are they sugarcoating it? This is definitely catered for the Omega casuals who are like, I'm too quick after an elim. I can't see. Nah, come on. Movement speed bonus was indirectly buffing the shit out of heroes like Sombra, Genji, Reaper, where upon a reset, they're able to catch up and close the gap a little bit more. I'm going too fast, help. That's what they should word this as. I don't like the dev comment here, but this change is fine. It will indirectly nerf. So Genji did get nerfed at the end of the mid-season, season 1. This is an indirect nerf to him as well, along with Reaper and a few other ones. However, the reload speed bonus upon an elim is a buff to, who's the one that comes to mind? Ashe is crazy good with this because she's an individual reloader. This is probably by far, she's the biggest beneficiary of this new passive. Cassidy, anybody who reloads, of course. So this, I mean, like heroes like Hanzo get nothing out of this, by the way, because Hanzo doesn't reload. So there's no passive for Hanzo at all. Tracer is good too. Tracer and Ashe are two by far. That'll be very nice from this for this change. Hanzo mains and shambles. GR, good round. Okay, let's look at Ramattra. Well, we already know what Ramattra does if you've paid attention to any sort of Overwatch stuff recently, but Ramatra's added. I can give you some quick thoughts on this hero, and I've played him a few times already. The stream of projectiles is really slow, so like when you aim it from mid to long range, you're not going to hit enough consistently, but this is the nicest part of his kit. The barrier only lasts 4 seconds when you put it up. It's weaker than a 6 shield, and it's on a 15-second cooldown. It's pretty mid, but it's there for, I mean, he has so many forms, so they're not trying to prioritize or overtune too many of the individual abilities. Now, Nemesis form, he gains 150 armor instantly, so it goes from 450 base to 600 HP. The punches deal 60 damage, and the range of the punch is like, what, 4 or 5 meters? It's actually not that long. And then the block significantly reduces damage from the front. They call it secondary, but it's literally just a block. You can block forever. So one thing you can do, I saw in a game that I played him in, is like if you're playing Control or King of the Hill and you're on the point, let's say like Nepal, you literally plant yourself in the corner and you just do this for 8 seconds. It's kind of like Reinhardt where he holds the shield tucked into a corner, but this is basically what he can do for a long ass time. If you have your ultimate available as well, like Annihilation, and people can't get close to you, you just sit there in a corner and you just like stall. You're an actually decent stall machine, but you just, I don't know. I feel like Ramattra overall is a little bit underwhelming based on my playtests. Ravenous Vortex fires a nanoball, which explodes when it hits the ground, spreading a damage field, and then they're slowed and pulled downwards. So the problem with this nanoball, it kind of acts like old Orisa shield in Overwatch 1, where you throw it, it'll bounce off walls until it touches flat ground. The range on it is not that high. It's probably only like 10 meters. It has no vertical range, so any Pharah or Echo flying above it will not get pulled down. You can break through it if you use any sort of like horizontal movement in most cases. And in some cases, it has a weird physics interaction, which we'll get to in the Ramattra Mythbusters, where because it pulls down, if people break through it by like using a horizontal movement, they'll actually get a propelled forward boost of momentum, if that makes any sense. Like it's building kinetic energy, and then releasing it all once they break out of the range. So you'll notice it if you like Widowmaker grapple. Let's say the vortex is here and you grapple across it. When you grapple, you'll get pulled down for a bit, but because the game will still prioritize your grapple, the minute you break free, you'll fucking like have all that stored energy and just fling up. It does that for Mercy as well, if I remember correctly. It does it for Widow grapple. It does it for Diva bomb. If you fly a Diva bomb, it will pull the bomb down and then whoom, it'll just like fling up again at the end. It's actually a little, I think this ability is a little meh, to be honest with you. I think if you ground somebody, it should kill all momentum, in my opinion. That'll make the ability better. Also, the vertical range should just be unlimited to the skybox. It's actually pretty hard ability to land as well. So like, I don't see, personally, upon first glance, I don't see that being an issue if they gave it permanent vertical range or completely grounding people where like, even if you try to move out of it, you can't anymore. That would be okay. Because it's really short too. In any case, Annihilation is his ultimate energy swarm. Swarm will lash out, dealing damage to everybody and pauses. It's a 3-second timer. The minute anybody is out of range, that timer goes down. This ultimate's okay, but it's very easy to mess it up, so you have to be careful with this one. If you block with the shield or break line of sight of it, it will stop it. So like Sigma putting up a shield stops the Annihilation. Brig putting up her shield, protection Suzu, that all breaks the line of sight of it and puts the timer down. So overall, Ramattra, very mid-tier hero in my opinion, a little underwhelming. I think he needs a little bit more, but I'm gonna wait and see. Give it like 2 weeks before he comes out into comp, get people familiarized with it. My take on this is based on a very short play test of the hero, right? I was only able to play Ramattra like 4 games, and like most content creators probably got less than like at most 10 games. That's like high end. And like, you can't really base first impression. Like you can give a first impression, excuse me, but you can't give a really qualified take on the hero with that short amount of sample size. I'm holding off on a tier list for about a week or two. Let me just see how Ramattra fits in once people play him in a optimal support comp, which is going to be Kiriko Lucio. He needs speed to get in. The whole point of this form, Omnic form, is to close the gap and get close to enemies. But the problem is, like, without speed, like, you want to get close to transform to Nemesis, right? I mean, that's the whole point of the hero. And without speed, it's kind of like Reinhardt. You kind of just feel underwhelming if you can't engage. And like, you want to be able to enable that with that support lineup. And when I did play test with Ramattra, I played with like Ana Mercy sometimes, stuff that doesn't work well with him. So we'll see. Anyways, underwhelming Ramattra. Now Doomfist. Oh boy. Doomfist might be the best tank, at least in the highest ranks. Metal rank hero players might need a little bit more practice to refine the skills. He's a very difficult hero to maximize, but Doomfist received 10 buffs and 3 nerfs. That's a net +7. Doomfist straight up might be the best tank right now. Okay, let's read it. Developer comments. There are several changes for Doomfist with the intent to increase his presence as a disruptive brawler style tank. The buff to his passive will help him stay in the fight longer when he's hitting multiple enemies, so he's tankier. Changes to Power Block and Meteor Strike are intended to increase the availability of Empowered Punch, which enables them to easily disrupt enemies and impact multiple targets. Due to gaining Empowered Punch more consistently, the stun duration and size are slightly decreased to reduce some of the frustration in playing against it. For Rocket Punch, we're shifting some of its power away from requiring wall impact, so that's more broadly more useful regardless of where fights are taken. Okay, Rocket Punch. Impact damage. Min-max increase from 15 to 30 to 25 to 50. So this is when you initially punch a target outside of Empowered. The biggest significant change is the max charge. If you fully charge your Rocket Punch, it now does 50 on impact. Apparently this is actually supposed to be 25. I talked to Get Quaked on when we had these notes earlier. He's like, it's actually like 25 to 30 from the old one, not 15. So I trust Quaked on. That guy plays so much Doomfist. So this is actually 25 to 30 if I remember correctly. Okay, so that's the impact. This means Rocket Punch in general will deal more damage. Wall slam damage when they connect on a wall is now reduced though from 20 to 40 to 10 to 30. So the punch itself is good. If they hit the wall, it doesn't add enough for the bonus. So like it's good overall regardless. You don't have to hit the wall to do more damage in most cases. This is okay. This is a net buff. Empowered Rocket Punch wall slam duration is reduced. So this is the stun. A stun is no longer from 1 second down to 0.75 seconds at full charge when you're empowered. So you would see Zebra or Get Quaked on montages where they're empowered, they punch multiple people. If they hit the wall, they're stunned for a full 1 second, and that's really long. So that stun in the empowered part is a little bit lower, 0.25 seconds lower. That's okay. That's actually good. Less stuns in that state. However, when you're not empowered, it now stuns for 0.25 seconds. I think previously, if you weren't empowered and you hit them against the wall, they wouldn't be stunned. Now they are stunned. So they took power away from the empowered punch and they moved it to the non-empowered punch stun. However, the empowered punch knockback radius was reduced from 4 to 3 meters. This is good, I would say, because right now a 4-meter knockback radius previously was insane. Along with the AoE, at 3 meters is a bit more reasonable. I am actually going to show you guys. Some guy linked this in a workshop on my Discord where he showed the actual range of Doomfist's punch. It is actually ridiculous. Let me find it. I think that was honestly one of the best visuals I've seen in a long time. This is pretty good. Look at this. Can you see the Doomfist here? This was okay, watch. Do you see that? That was the old Doomfist empowered punch. Okay. If you punch a single person here empowered, everybody in this radius gets knocked back. That's why the group AoE punch was kind of redonkulous. So people here were able to be stunned. Each square here is 4 meters. Sorry, I'm gonna remove the chat so it's a little easier to see. So now, instead of 4-meter knockback, these people here would get stunned. So now it's a little bit less. So at least they're doing that. This was linked to me by, it was in my Discord. I'll find you later. I appreciate you. Sorry, I don't want to stall the video too long. Thanks for showing me that and making that workshop code. Okay, anyways, so they nerfed the radius a little bit. Good, because it was already ridiculous, like you just saw. Minimum time before cancel option reduced from 0.25. This is a small quality of life change. It means you could charge your punch and then let go of it a little bit quicker. A little bit quicker. It can allow you to bait. This one doesn't really change him fundamentally, but it's nicer to be able to quick cancel to, you know, just for more fluidity on the hero. Cooldown reduced from 4 to 3 seconds. Wait, this was actually been in since his rework, but was not mentioned. Oh, I didn't realize. So Rocket Punch has always only been 3 seconds instead of 4. They just wrote it out here for now. Okay. All right. Power Block. Now, Power Block is getting buffed where the cooldown is down from 8 to 7 seconds, 2 to 2.5 seconds on the duration. That's a buff. It means you can hold it for longer, so you have a bigger window of opportunity to block and absorb and get the threshold. Now, threshold, the minimum damage mitigator required to empower the punch is from 90 to 80. You don't need as much damage to get empowered. Its cooldown is shorter and the uptime is better. So this is 3 straight buffs to Power Block. They nerfed the empowered punch slightly, but like the uptime to get it is insane. You get it way more often now. Meteor Strike also, oh sorry, chat was, let me just put chat back on the screen. Now Meteor Strike empowers a Rocket Punch on landing. So when he's fighting and using all his abilities, and the moment he Meteor Strikes, he gets an empowered punch immediately. That's kind of crazy. And they're slowed for a little bit longer when he lands, which is also like 2 more buffs here. And his passive, it makes him super tanky now because he has 450 base health. Previously, he would only get up to 600 at max, 450 plus 150. Now he can go up to 650 total health. And each target, when you hit with an ability, he gains more over health. So if you hit like 4 or 5, if you hit 5 people in a couple of his abilities, you will literally get 650 health. So Doomfist, I hate to say it, but man, this guy is literally the S tier tank. He went from shit to, honestly, he wasn't even that shit at the highest ranks. He was like a little less than shit, but now he's actually straight up so freaking good now. So good. This guy, high rank players, be careful. Mid and low rank players, he's gonna be annoying if someone has, if anybody plays a little Doomfist parkour and they know how to like navigate the hero a little bit, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck. Okay. Junker Queen. Commanding Shout is Junker Queen's primary tanking ability and utility, but the additional survivability it granted her team proved to be too powerful and needed to be tuned back significantly in a previous patch. We're looking to shift more of that survivability onto Junker Queen herself by increasing the amount her passive heals through dealing damage with wounds. So we all know Junker Queen has her new mythic skin. And if you have a mythic skin, you better hope the hero is good if you want people to play. That's why the mythic Genji was so popular, because Genji was good. So they're actually nerfing her hitbox first by 12%. Her torso and her head are a little bit thicker in terms of like the hit registration. That's a nerf. It's a bigger target. It's easier to hit sleep darts, easier to hit her. That's actually pretty big. 12%. That's a nerf. However, they're buffing 4 things to compensate. The ultimate, this is her ultimate, Rampage. Wound duration reduced from 5 to 4.5%, and ultimate cost reduced. Ultimate cost is self-explanatory. You build the ultimate a little bit faster. The wound duration, now this looks like a nerf on the surface, but technically I think it's a net buff. So this is the anti effect. These people are going to be antied for 5 seconds. They're antied for a little bit less, 4.5 seconds. However, the damage it's supposed to do, the 100 damage, means it's dealt in a quicker period of time, which means it's a DPS increase, and you're technically healing a little bit quicker too, at the cost of having half a second less of anti. I think this is a net buff. Commanding shout cooldown, obviously 1 extra second. This is a buff. And adrenaline, which is her passive overall, makes her a lot better because the multiplier of healing is now 1.25x instead of 1. Because previously, if you dealt 30 damage, you'll heal 30, 1-to-1. If you deal 30, now you'll heal, that's probably a bad number. Okay, let's do 100. If you deal 100, you'll heal 125. I can't do math that quick, okay? 30 times 25%, fuck if I know. It's like a decimal, isn't it? I think. Quick maths. If you deal 200 damage, you'll heal 250. Mathematical Penguin in the chat has math in his name, he's laughing. 30 times 1.25. Is it like 7.5? 37.5. Okay, thank you. Quick, you guys are faster at math than me. I'm just... Anyways, you get the point. This makes her like better at brawling and fighting a little bit. Cool. If it's decimals, incalculable. Undefined. Hey, Bastion buffs. The intent for Bastion's ultimate is that players can survive if they're quick to react to the damaging impact areas. However, it ended up being too easy to avoid the damage areas entirely, reducing the amount of warning time and explosion damage so it's more reliable in dealing damage, but it won't be as lethal the closer the target gets. Okay, so buffs to his ultimate, the delay from 1 second down to 0.6, because every time you click a circle, you wait 1 second and then it comes down. Now, if you pick apart and the circle comes out, and it's already gonna come down significantly quicker. 40% quicker? Yeah, 40% quicker. Quick maths. That's a huge buff. The damage is going down slightly to compensate because they're probably gonna get hit a lot more frequently, so they don't want it to be as potent. It no longer deals damage to yourself, so a lot of times when you use your ult as Bastion, the in the spot, and like an enemy team decides to find you planted in your ultimate and they get close to you, at least now you can ult yourself and you won't injure yourself, which is nice. The minimum delay between placing the shots has also been reduced by 20%. So it comes down quicker, and if you want to rapid fire, beep, 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 click all 3 really quickly, you can do it a lot quicker at 20% faster. That's cool. And changing into the sentry form, cooldown reduced from 12 to 10 seconds, so you have way more uptime of being in sentry form to reconfigure to that. So that is also quite strong as well. So Bastion, he was already like a C tier hero. I think he's actually mid tier. He's like B tier now, in my opinion. But I'll do a tier list later. He's actually not bad. He destroys Ramattra. If you play him correctly, it's just his hitbox, his ginormous hitbox that holds him back. But he's actually okay. He's a little scary when played around really nicely. Okay, Sojourn nerfs. Everybody was talking nerf Sojourn, nerf Sojourn, nerf Sojourn. So Sojourn is performing well at the highest tiers of comp play, but poorly below these tiers. Much of the perception that she is too powerful seems to be driven by the reaction to dying the long range. That's true. Charged headshots from a railgun secondary. These changes are aimed at reducing frustrations there, with the biggest change being the reduced crit multiplier for headshots. A fully charged headshot no longer kills a full health 200 HP target. To help account for the loss of power, we're increasing the damage of her primary fire and how quickly her energy charges during her ultimate. Not sure if I agree with this, but let's read it. Decay, the energy delay before draining reduced from 8 to 5 seconds. So yes, this was very annoying. This was a good start, right? Because back then, you have 100 charge, you are literally holding your full charge for 8 fucking seconds. You can just shoot anything. A Junkrat mine, a Rhine shield, any sort of player-made object would refresh the 8-second timer. So you would just hold charge, tap somebody in the distance, keep your 8-second charge. Somebody walks in your line of sight, get railed. So I think they could have aggressively nerfed this to 4 seconds to force her to at least expend the charge as quickly as possible. but whatever. This is a good nerf. Secondary fire, fall off starting range reduced from 70 to 40 meters. So what's funny is that nobody even realized that she already did have fall off damage on the rail shot, but 70 meters is irrelevant for most maps. Sojourn is always a close to mid-range hero. She never rails anybody at 70 meters. 70 meters is like Ilios Ruins. You know Ilios Ruins on the top of the mega health pack on one side? You know how Widows like snipe from across the fucking map on that side? End to end? That's like 80 meters. That's the range they were thinking of, but literally nobody knew she had fall off damage because you never fire that far away with the rail. So at least they're making it a bit more reasonable at 40 meters. 40 is still pretty long, so this is not really that bad of a nerf. Secondary fire crit multiplier 2 to 1.5. So this is the big nerf. So right now, railgun charge at 130 damage times 2, quick maths, 260 damage for a full headshot. You kill Reapers, you kill Maze at 250 HP, you kill every hero that's not a tank in the game with a headshot. At 1.5x, 130 times 1.5 is now 195 damage. You are no longer able to one-shot anybody except Tracer or Baby Diva. But 195 is still a little scary. If anybody sneezes on them, they're still dead. I don't think this is a decent nerf. Good start. I don't even think they needed to add power back to her in other cases. Secondary fire damage now scales linearly with energy from 30 to 130. One energy is one. I don't know what it was before. Maybe it was like a scale, but in any case, this is easier to like do math on anyways. Primary fire damage per projectile 9 to 10. So her SMG is stronger and the overclock charge is faster. This means Sojourn is, maybe she's not S tier, but she's still A tier. Like she's still very, very good. Very, very good. I wouldn't worry about like people are still gonna play her. So you're less random one shots, but like her overall team fight power is still gonna be very good. So yeah, Sojourn's still gonna be very strong in the meta. Might potentially still be S tier. Let me get more playtime on her, but initial thoughts still at minimum A tier. What does secondary fire scale linearly? It means if you have 1 energy, it's 1 damage. So if I have 1 energy, I'll do 31 damage. If I have 50 energy charged, I'll deal 80 damage, 30 plus 50. If I have 100 energy, it's 30 plus 100, so 130. That's what it means. Okay, Symmetra. Couple of buffs to Symmetra. The changes to Symmetra's primary fire will make her gameplay faster by enabling her to charge her beam up to dangerous levels more quickly. However, it will drain the less lethal levels at an increased rate when not damaging. Reverting the damage adjustments to her ammo management, because while it helped with the matchups where there were no barriers, it lost something interesting to its interactions. Sure. So the beam charge rate increased by 20%. That's a buff, but it decays faster at 20%. That's the nerf. Buff, nerf. They could have made it 2 separate lines in my opinion, but hey, whatever. The consumption rate increased from 7 to 10. Oh, I missed this in my patch notes. I didn't actually realize they added this. It consumes ammo quicker now? That's not good. I didn't realize, why did they nerf this too? I don't think they needed to do that. Eh? Whoops. Primary fire also now gains ammo from damaging barriers again. So when a Winston drops the bubble and you're low ammo, you can just fire your beam on barriers and you regain ammo. So I still think Symmetra's a niche hero. She's not terrible at the lowest ranks. At the higher ranks, people only play her on like King of the Hill maps, or if you're there, a Sim 1 trick. She's not a very popular hero. No changes to Sim turrets. I still think she's more situational, but I don't think she's like that terrible. Just annoying to play around, that's all. Okay, Tracer buffs. We balanced Tracer's damage in a previous patch due to an undiscovered bug with her fall-off damage. The bug is now resolved to reverting damage. 5 to 6 on the pulse pistols. You know what's funny? Tracer was like almost untouched for many, many years. In Overwatch 1, Tracer had 6 damage per bullet, by the way. But in Overwatch 2, they nerfed 6 to 5 because they thought with less CC, less shields, less tanks, and the DPS passive, Tracer would be really OP at 6 damage, so they nerfed it at 5. However, Overwatch League players were still playing her when she was at 5 because she's a high skill cap hero. Back at 6 means at the highest levels, Tracer will be annoying. At the medium to low ranks, metal ranks, for most of you guys, it's just like Overwatch 1 Tracer. It's okay, just it really depends on the player at that point. Okay, but she's gonna be S tier again for the highest ranks. Anna, I don't think Tracer's ever higher than B tier for the mid to low ranks. Anna, Sleep Dart is still one of the most powerful crowd control abilities in 5v5 with the addition of cleanse mechanics to offer potential counter to this effect. We're more comfortable reducing the cooldown. Dude, 1 second? Okay, I'm an Ana main, but come on, this is nothing. It's a buff, but like, that's a nothing burger. Okay, Kiriko. The hit volume adjustments is to help address her arms, sometimes blocking headshots in some of her animations. Kiriko feels balanced overall, but her ultimate could feel too frenetic at times. I don't even know what this word means. I assume this means hectic based on the context of it. I've actually never used this word in my vocabulary before. We're reducing both the movement speed and cooldown rate boosted grants so that's easier to aim during its effect for both allies and enemies, and there being fewer abilities being thrown out, the rest of the changes are primarily for quality of life to make it feel better to use. So, arm hitbox. Usually when you nerf hitboxes, it's a buff because they're harder to hit, but this is specifically for her arm blocking headshots, so that's a nerf. Are they trying to say frantic? I don't know. I don't know what frenetic means. That's why. And they added an auto wall climb function, which is already available for Hanzo and Genji. Basically, when you wall climb, when you jump near a wall and you're facing it, you have to hold your jump or press jump again to go on the wall. Now, whenever you're jumping and then you touch a wall, you'll start, and you press W, you'll actually just start climbing. So this is an option. I generally don't recommend this option for most people, so I wouldn't worry about it, but the option is there if you want it, right? Frenetic is something like frenzious. Oh, it's a viable word. Oh, see, you guys are the smart people in chat. Thank you. Okay, so here are the nerfs to Kitsune Rush. The cost went down by 10%, movement speed bonus reduced from 50 to 30, and cooldown rate reduced from 3 to 2 times faster. These are decent nerfs to Kitsune Rush. Kitsune Rush was the most powerful part of the kit. The reason why Fielder and other pros went to heal bot as Kiriko is because all your win condition was to build the fast Kitsune Rush, use your Fox, and that's your win condition, and you win the team fight. Good nerf, good nerf. This 50% before is ridiculous. If you guys don't know, the movement speed cap in Overwatch is 75%. So it was a little OP with Kiriko Lucio because Lucio's speed aura without amping is already 25%. So when Kiriko ults and Lucio is not amping in speed, you're already at the cap. However, having it at 30% makes it a bit more viable to actually amp speed a little bit more to actually hit the 75% cap as needed. Because normally when you're in the Kiriko ult, you just amp heal to make sure everybody has good uptime or good heals and survives, while you just base your entire engagement off the movement speed at 50%. Cooldown rate, 3x was already ridiculous. 2x is already, this is the only ability in the game that does this, so this is already still strong. Protection Suzu, the cast time is reduced from 0.15 to 1.1, so it's a little quicker to cast now. That's a decent buff. Quality of life. The kunai increased from 12 to 15 ammo, and the ability input can now be held to activate, so you can buffer your swift step. This is probably the best buff. This was like really minor, but it lowers the time. That's okay. Ammo to, I said, encourage the DPS style a little bit more. Sure, it doesn't really affect the low ranks. And then this one is the biggest quality of life change. So if you guys don't know, some of you guys play Kiriko, where when you want to swift step and you like swing your camera around and you want to swift step, you have to mash the damn button to re-input to get the teleport off. Now you can just hold the button down, and like if you're in a bad sticky situation, you need to get out, you just hold the button, swivel your camera, and it'll TP you out to the first person you see. This is by far the best change to her. Great change, great change. With auto wall climb, yeah, you can accidentally cancel your swift step with this, so don't do this. You hold it like Anatol. It's kind of like Tracer. You can buffer the recall button. You just hold the button down, and then you hold swift step button down, and then just instantly go. This is good. This isn't even like that bad of a nerf on Kitsune Rush. I still think Kiriko is hard meta. Okay, and the final change is Mercy. This change will enable Mercy to better defend herself or even go on the offensive in 5v5 as situations occur much more often. Swapping your weapon is a little bit quicker now, and the ammo is increased. So these are 2 Battle Mercy changes. Nobody asked for these, come on now. No Mercy player in the right mind wanted these, I guarantee it. They want her like to be stronger outside of the pistol. Fucking, you wanted this? Okay. You just like chaos, I agree. Cool. Or they didn't know they needed this, I assume. DPS Mercy. Ugh. Anyways, new map pools. Listen, I'm not a fan of map pools, but here we are. We have fucking map pools. New Queen Street is now morning time. Interesting. Coliseum. Oh, these were always the right timing. So they wait. Push. Oh no, this. They're just writing the lighting for all of them. It's always been this, but Push still has all 3 maps. Hybrid now has Blizzard World with this rainy overcast. Eichenwald evening, Kings Row evening, Midtown morning, Paraiso. So what did they remove? They removed Hollywood. No Hollywood, no Numbani. Escort. They have Dorado in the evening, Junkertown, Circuit Royale, Rialto, Morning, Route 66, and Shambali Monastery, new map. They got rid of Watchpoint Gibraltar. At least we have Rialto back though, thank God. They don't have Watchpoint Gibraltar and no Havana. So Nambani wasn't even in season 1 or 2. Havana not in season 1 or 2. Control maps: Busan, Ilios, Lijiang, Nepal, Oasis. New evening time Nepal and new morning time Oasis. Did they remove any of them? Let me think here. Are there any control maps? I think control is the same here. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think you could just add all the maps, guys. Come on. Whatever. General changes. Bug that cause take a breather not audible in hero gallery. Lose competitive progress. Several products can't be unlocked in the hero gallery. Lifesaver challenge not activating. Purchases not showing up. Fix the bug with Torb Symmetra turrets displaying hostile stuff. Busan fix an area map players could get stuck. Geometry for some hero to contest undetected. Fix some areas they use to escape the playable space. Geometry allows some players to contest undetected. I know this one. This one was the Mercy Sit emote where you get stuck put in a rock. I saw this one on a clip before. I don't know what this one was, but I do know this one. It's all over on YouTube. You literally do the sit emote on Mercy around the first check in the middle where the push robot is, and you're in a corner and you sink into the rock. You have to punch the area to kick him out though. That was funny. Gibraltar. Why are you fixing Gibraltar lights when it's not in the map pool? Haha. But yeah, anyways. Light issues. Okay. Torbjorn could place his turret in undetectable shots. Missing pillars on Sanctum. Rio. Heroes get stuck inside payload. Lighting issues on Route 66. Shadows on New Queen Street. People could get stuck on that map. Heroes no longer take damage from their own ability than the other side of a friendly barrier. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, that's actually an interesting change. Huh? That's interesting. I'm trying to think of an implication here. Let's say I'm rocket jumping as Zarya and my Symmetra puts a wall up. If I put the shot down ahead of the thing and I jump up, maybe I don't take damage? Does the barrier still take damage? I don't think your own friendly abilities would deal damage to your friendly shield, but hey, we'll try this one out. That is a pretty big interaction, if true. Fix an issue with the damage passive where sometimes a double reload would occur when the buff was active. I didn't know that was existing, but okay. Props issue where power block reduce the damage from some area of effect. You can no longer detect Sombra if the targeting reticle gets near. I didn't even know you could do that. Interesting. Diva, fix the bug that allowed players to self-destruct during the mech's destruction when hacked. Okay. Jagged Blade can no longer be recalled while slept, hacked, stunned, hacked, or frozen. That's a nerf. Fixed an issue with Jagged Blade being consumed by friendly abilities. What? Your friendly defense matrix could eat it? What the fuck? Okay. This is it. Whoa. Now it takes a curved trajectory on return. This should have been added to the Junker Queen part at the top. Is this a bug fix? What? This changes like how Junker Queen is played with a curved recall. Because normally if you like stick someone and you recall it straight back to you, it should come back where you aim it. But if it's curving back, how does it curve? This ain't a boomerang. This is a long ass patch breakdown video, I know. What is this, God of War, boy? Oh, did you see that? It went like this. It's a right side curve. So if I throw it here and I recall, wait, hold on. I throw it here. Wait, I should have, what the fuck? I mean, visually it looks cooler. You just gotta get used to it, I guess. Is it just visual? Oh, sorry, I have my audio muted. Hold on. Right side curve. One more time. So could I curve it around? I mean, you could already throw it through like stuff like this, but that's very, very interesting. Look to the left of the knife. It might curve. Oh, this way too. No, it still curves this way, I think. Interesting. They should have added that to the top. I should have added this to the patch note. That's, I mean, okay. Well, they should have added, like, I literally did a whole breakdown on these hero changes, but like, this is sitting on the bottom instead of putting it up here. I feel like that's significant enough to add here. If you're gonna add the torso and head hitbox, add it here so I can put it in these damn videos, damn it. Okay. Okay, curved trajectory. Guardian Angel now correctly resets its cooldown. The Valkyrie is used. Guardian Angel cancel boost is now disabled and Mercy stunned, all right. Junkrat's trap no longer displays at chest height in first person, that's whatever. Fixed a bug that reduced the ult cost of rocket barrage. I should have added this maybe. So Pharah is no longer bugged because in season 1, the entire season, Pharah's barrage is supposed to cost 2100 ult points, but it was bugged to 1500 or 1600. It was a lot cheaper. It was 25% cheaper, or 30% cheaper, which is crazy. Now they've reverted that, so that's pretty significant. Fixed the issue where Soldier 76 was unable to critical hit max range enemies during tactical visor. Max range, okay. BO being cut out when taking teleporter. Pulse pistol fall. Oh, they fixed the tracer bug with the fall off damage. Hey, there's that one at least. But they compensated by giving her 6 damage per bullet. Resolve an issue with the werewolf skin with the excuse me thing. And melee not animating if used to cancel alternate fire. And that is the season 2 patch breakdown. Holy. The biggest takeaway from this is Doomfist. Doomfist. 10 buffs, 3 nerfs. This guy's OP. Junker Queen's still kind of mid in my opinion. Sojourn's still strong. Tracer's gonna be good at the highest levels. Kiriko, Lucio's meta. We're gonna get Kiriko, Lucio, Doomfist, Tracer, maybe Sojourn, and Sojourn mixed with a few other heroes depending on the needs and the player. And that, season 2 in a nutshell. Ramattra is not going to be played. That's all. Okay, cool. That's the overall patch, KarQ patch breakdown. Appreciate you guys watching, and go watch the main channel one if you want the quicker comparisons, and I'll see you guys next time.